Hello and welcome. My name is Dominique and I'm going to be your instructor as we paint our spiritual medicine woman. I encourage you to make this painting as personal as possible. Before we get started, let's get out our sketched canvas, our paints, brushes, a cup of water to dip our brushes in, and possibly a plate to mix our colors on as we create different shades. Also, maybe some clothes that you don't mind getting messy in, maybe some refreshments, and whatever else you need to have a good time. Now, once I'm all set up, I'm going to start by painting my background. I want my background to be a gradient of red, orange, and yellow. So using the colors that came in my kit, I'll start with red at the top and using my largest brush, brushing from side to side horizontally. And then I'll bring in orange as my second color, and I'll just blend those together with those horizontal brush strokes. Also note that I am painting the edges of my canvas for a more finished look. Now eventually at the bottom I'm going to have yellow. Notice that I really don't mind painting over this permanent marker because it'll persist for a couple of layers of paint. You can bring in white to lighten up your background and make it look a little more faded. And you can also add water to your canvas as you're blending these colors to help them blend easier. Now, this video is going to go a lot faster than I expect you to paint. This painting might take you an hour or so. Really just enjoy the process and pause this video, rewind, however often you need to. If you're ready to move forward, we will paint the base layer for our skin. To get the right hue, you might want to mix your color as a combination of brown, maybe yellow or orange or even red. Whatever hue you want, you can create if you mix your colors prior. And I'll just add a base layer across the face, the neck, the chest area, and the hand. Here I didn't go down far enough on the chest, so make sure that you go all the way down to the cloak of our medicine woman. And I obviously don't mind painting over that permanent marker. And you might not have necklaces on your medicine woman. I think I'm going to leave that up to you to decide how you'd like her to be decorated. Once you're done with that first layer, feel free to move on to adding some highlights to your medicine woman. I like to highlight the exact same way that I do makeup. And so if you're a makeup wearing person, you'll know that we highlight our cheekbones, our nose, our eyelids, our cupid's bow, and our chin. Those are the areas of our face that stick out a little bit more. And then in contrast, we contour underneath our cheeks. We contour underneath our eyes, on the sides of our nose, and if you have smile lines, you'll contour on the sides of your face with a darker shade of brown. So my lighter shade was just that brown mixed with some white, and my darker shade is either my pure brown or my brown mixed with a tiny bit of black. You can feel free to pause this video if you want to double check where and which zones you'd like to contour your medicine woman. And again, all of this is completely optional. Don't feel like you need to do exactly as I do. I'm actually going to spend quite some time trying to get my face to look perfect. So in this case, I'll wait for that layer to dry, and then I might go in and add some blending. And with that blending, you'll see that I go back and I add more highlighting with a purer white on top. It really is just trial and error. As an artist, I can't say that every first layer that I add is perfect, but the power is in the layers. You can add as many as you want. So with that being said, I'll let you watch this step through, and then I'll join you again for the next step. The next step will be to add our details to our face and our jewelry and our outfit and the stick as well, but don't forget to first contour the hand. And so that's going to be adding highlights across the fingers, and then adding some darker brown into the edges of the fingers, and so the outline of that hand. Once I'm done with the general shades of my face and my hand, now I'm going to start working on some of my features. This is where you can get really creative. I'll start by adding the whites of my eyes, and I might even add a little bit of blue into those eyes, or teal. And I'm going to let her pupils be a glassy kind of blue. Because to me that just kind of sings wisdom. But please let your medicine woman look however you like. You can even let her have a third eye. For the lips, I will fill them in with red to start. And then once that red dries, I'll outline it. But I'll also add red to her dress. So I just like to be mindful of what colors I'm using, and to use that color to its fullest extent before I clean my brushes. I'm then going to start using a dark brown, and with that dark brown I'll outline the eyes, and I'll outline the smile lines and the nostrils, maybe the bridge of the nose, the outside of the face, to outline the face and clean up those edges. Just a personal touch for me, I'm also going to add the eye of Horus to my medicine woman. I'll also outline the hand. I like to put these little swirls on the knuckles. You could add triangles if you wanted to, or just lines, the wrinkles that our hands have. However you want it to look. For her hair, I'm gonna go with an aged, saged, and wise white. So I'll start with a base layer, and hopefully your background is already dry. You don't want to add too many colors at one time to your canvas, because you don't want it to be swamped with too much paint. So you really just want to add whatever paint you have and use that to its fullest extent. And if you need to, you could use a hair dryer on a low setting to make your acrylic paint dry faster. I'm also going to paint the stick with its base layer, and then go in with a large brush using my blue to paint her cloak. Again, that's assuming that underneath the cloak that paint is already dry. I'll use a smaller brush towards the edges, like around my hand and around the stick, and you can see that there's a tiny corner of the cloak on the outside of the stick right there. And I know I'm doing a lot of steps here, so please feel free to pause this video whenever. I'm also going to add a little bit of an ombre white look at the top of my cloak, so it'll be a little bit brighter up top and fade down into a darker blue. For my next step, once the white in my hair has dried a bit, I'm going to outline my hair. Now you could have let your medicine woman have curly hair. I'm gonna let her have some locks. So locks are quite easy to paint. You'll just draw straight down from the roots. And then I'll start painting the headband. I'm gonna choose to have my headband be red. And if you want your colors to blend, you can add a little bit of water to your brush. I'll also add in some yellow towards the center to give it a little bit of dimension in that headband. I'm going back to outline and with my smaller brush, outlining that cloak and adding some details, like I think I'll put the word heal in the bottom left corner. You could add dots. I would really love to see how you can make this painting your own. And please tag me in your creations on Instagram, or you can send them to me by email. I'll put all of my contact information in the description box below. I'll outline the headband, and then I'm gonna work on my jewelry. My jewelry will start off with a base layer of yellow mixed with orange, and then once that base layer is dry, I'll add the gold on top. Now for the paint kits, I decided not to outline the jewelry, just to let you do whatever jewelry you want to do. I've chosen an Ankh symbol here. You can choose whatever means a lot to you. So while that base layer of paint is drying on your jewelry, you can work on your stick by adding some darker brown, maybe adding some gold to your stick and your walking stick, and also outlining and adding just the ridges of the wood. Once my walking stick is finished and my jewelry is pretty dry, I'm gonna go back in and add some gold. I really love the way that the gold shines and contrasts with that metallic shade against our matte paint colors. You can even outline your jewelry to make it stick out more. I think I just chose to use brown for the outline here. And then I'm gonna go in and add a few more details before I call this painting finished, like some beautiful clouds in her eyes. And I decided to paint over the bridge of the nose because I felt like it stuck out a bit too much. So this is your time to really add whatever you think is gonna make this even more beautiful. I think I added some gold to her eyelids as well. And this is my finished medicine woman. So congratulations, you have created a masterpiece, and I'm so proud of you for using your creative energy today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and tag me in your creations. I cannot wait to see them. Until next time, it's been my pleasure.